What's up, everybody? It's JJ, back for another roundtable. The Bad Batch, episode 13, Infested. Yes, Chris?
I was just going to ask if everybody was happy with their placement in what they are doing currently in the crawl.
I've been found, so I'm happy.
Did Onzo switch sides?
Yeah, he did a while back.
Yeah, he switched sides. It's me and him.
I'm not too sure how I feel about being like thrust into danger.
Well, we now understand how you hurt your wrist.
You were into danger. Listen, your character got like the most mentions of all the characters. I think I mentioned.
Oracle got mentioned every week. I don't like the Oracle got mentioned every week.
Well, you have been recently, but no. Let's see.
Well, we still have one more role to fill. We still have the Marauder to fulfill.
No, we haven't. No, that's already been found out last week. We revealed that it is Austinator. Austinator was the Marauder. He switched sides because he was the Marauder helping us.
Okay, well,
go back and watch last week's.
No, that's all good.
Right.
That's all.
JJ's Sid.
I'm the bad guy.
So it started out JJ and Austinator were bad guys.
Yeah.
Then Onzo switched sides. Guyscar was missing for half the time.
And so now Onzo's on the good guy's side?
No,
he's on my side.
Guy. He switched sides. So now him and JJ have allied.
Austinator, who were like on the dark side.
No, Austinator has switched sides. He was helping our side.
Dark side. Okay, so now he's on the light side.
Yes.
This is like freaking Days of Our Lives, guys.
Yes, it is. It's just what Star Wars.
Awesome. Oh, does the Days of Our Lives.
I know, but without the light, without the cheese music, instead we get
is
to
Is Guyscar a little low to everybody but me?
You hear me?
Yeah, it is. So,
give me a second.
No, it's okay. Okay,
I didn't see that little okie doke switch until just now.
You have a website for Khaos Central. Maybe you should post those chases on there after I correct the spelling on any of them that I missed.
You know what? Talk to Onzo, get the ones he has, because I've sent everything to him. I mean, I can go back and find the ones that I've made, but or you can go through and watch all the episodes we've done so far and type them all out.
The first minute.
I know.
What I'm saying is, if you give them all to me, you should post them on your website, right? Because you guys have like websites.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, who do you think we are? LDG? What the heck?
Chris said he had the website thingy.
I have the Khaos Central. We could do it. I just gotta get in there and see if the code holds up.
Thing to post
all right.
Your website.
Guyscar, you fix it? Apparently not.
Maybe.
No, he's gone.
He's like, damn it, I'm tired of being missing all the fucking time. Anyway, how's everybody doing this evening?
Doing fine, bro. How about you?
All right, thank you. So, we're going. All right. What about now?
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we hear you.
You need the aviator stuff.
I needed my aviator.
Oh shit, we taking off.
That was the worst thing when I was flying a plane, trying to like figure out what they're saying in the headset. That and the person who was teaching me to fly was like, go up, go down, go down. But it was the same motion for both. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't tell what he was saying. It was so bad.
Now, I wasn't paying attention last week except for to the crawl. Did anybody notice that the actual video clip has changed?
Yes.
I did notice that, yes.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Those different scenes.
With Boba Fett.
I had to fast forward it because I had to pause during the crawl so I could read it.
Well, for the since the show started, the main intro has been the same. Basically the first episodes, basically, they're they're training, they're Tarkin doing his thing with them, and now I saw Cad Bane, I saw a few other things going on. I seen a very young Boba Fett, so
Things that make you go,
I wonder where he found these clips at. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to go ahead and start off with, your overall impressions of this episode. Danny, would you mind starting for us, please, sir?
No problem. This episode, man, it just fit right in the cut. I was mad at it, not overly excited. Really moving the story along, I guess, as far as it pertains to Sharpshoot was whatever his name is, Crosshairs. We know that from last episode that Admiral has given Crosshairs to go to hunt them down, so that should be pretty interesting. I'm assuming we're going to see that in the next episode or two. I did like the tie back into where those creatures, I call them like the Sphinx or whatever, look like a snake, Sphinx with a funny shaped head.
Spikes.
They were in Rebels.
Spikes,
yeah. They were in Rebels, and they kind of during that time when sisters and
Rafa.
I can't think of the girl name now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Rafa and the sister. Yeah.
Right.
When they were doing their adventure, and they were kind of tricked them about the spice. It seems that spice is, I guess, is like crack or some kind of drug to those spikes or whatever. They're the ones not to play with. You throw them and they're like, okay, I remember your threat. I see you. I'm gonna destroy your whole family. So they want. I guess they're gangsters of the mafia of the of space or the galaxy or whatever. But this episode wasn't bad. I mean, it shows that little girl Omega has a heart. She seems to be sympathetic for everybody, even though Sid did them kind of wrong at the end, and she still gives them need to know information. But it seems that they get kind of close. The little girl cares about her, so I'm cool with it. It wasn't bad.
Well, if anybody didn't notice, it was another introduction to another Rebels character.
Yes.
The actual guy that took Sid's shop.
Roland.
Yeah, he was the dealer in Rebels in season 1.
He was one of their contacts in season 1. Yeah. And it ended up, I think, somewhere around the second to the last or the third to the last episode of the entire show on Rebels. They're doing a lot of this crossbreeding, and I'm actually enjoying it. What else you got, Danny? Anything else?
Like I said, Dave Filoni, he's doing his thing. He's tired. He's putting all the pieces together. So I'm really not mad at the show. Another what's the term we used to use? Another side quest, whatever. That's what it was.
Right.
But I wasn't mad at it. It was okay.
All right. Chris.
We're just doing overall impression or like first impression, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, over and all.
It was a good episode. Overall, but there are some issues I have with it, and but no, I mean, it was an alright episode. I don't think I had an issue necessarily with the episode. It's just some of the stuff. So.
Hey, Commander Data, how you doing? Guyscar.
Wow, I hated it. Not hated it. Hate's a strong word. I found it a very useless, close to useless episode.
Okay.
I find that it freaking just killed the momentum what they had going for the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, comparatively speaking, I agree. but I didn't hate it. But still,
I take that back. I hate's a strong word.
yeah,
Just-
yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
underwhelming.
good. Dandelion.
I didn't hate it. I did prefer the previous 2 episodes, but that was a good, standard meat and potatoes kind of mission. I'm guessing it was probably like, kind of, again, it's pushing them in the direction. Omega's obviously going to be their moral compass, pushing them in direction of being a little more like good guys, doing good stuff, helping people and all that. I've had some issues as well, but we can get to that later.
Okay.
Specific
All right,
issues.
all right. Jason, how you doing?
Good. The episode was good, but I mean, it's like Gaskar said, it was. I mean, we only got 3 episodes left. It sort of dropped the momentum a little bit because I was expecting something different. But I mean, it was a good filler episode. I mean, it was something I would have liked, like 3rd or 4th episode, not this far in though. But it was, like I said, it's one of them love and hate sort of episodes.
Okay. All right. Alternator.
If this episode happened maybe a few episodes ago, I'd have liked it a lot more.
Mhm.
But this is kind of where this show has been. This episode is basically what this show has suffered from for literally the last few episodes. It is literally just another side quest, and the fact that we only have 3 episodes left, I am under the belief that we are getting a 2nd season, because when we're this far in, there shouldn't be any filler. And the episode overall was fine. I will say there were things I liked, but overall, it's probably going to get a really low grade for me because, like Guyskar said, it killed the momentum this show had. So those are my overall thoughts for right now.
Okay. All right. Nendroid.
It was disappointing, but fun at the same exact time. All because last week's episode left off with a high point, just like what Guy Scar and Austin said. But it was fun. It was filler. It was just fun to me overall.
Okay. Just fun overall. All right. Awesome. Okay. I'm almost in agreement with everybody. It was not definitely one of the best episodes we've seen in the past couple of weeks, but I didn't hate it. I liked it. It's Star Wars to me, but every few episodes now they're throwing callbacks to previous shows, and the last couple weeks it's been Cham Syndulla and Hera Syndulla, and I'm actually waiting to see who comes up next week. May it be Boba Fett, maybe the week after that, who knows what's his role to play, but that's speculation for later on. But it was another bug episode, and I'll get back into that later. But anyway, Danny, what did you like about the episode?
I like a lot of things about it. As always, I like when the Bad Batch is doing their thing. Of course, as always, Wrecker's comedy relief. For them to be so technically sound and such a unit, he always seems to bumble things up, like dropping the doggone flashlight when she told him extra carefully not to do it. But of course, that's comic relief. So I really like Wrecker's character because he always lightens the mood up, or he makes me chuckle during a spot in the episode. Never fails. I'm really liking Omega, and I'm finding that hard to believe because at first I couldn't stand her, but Dave Filoni has written it in such a way that we are starting to cheer for her, and like Dandelion Club said, she's becoming a moral compass of the group. So I think that she's the only one that seems to be still like talking junk and stuff. The doggone what's his name? Alpha, the one with the robotic arm. What's his name? Echo.
Tech.
No.
Yeah. Echo.
Echo.
No. Echo. Yeah. Echo, man. Echo ain't trying to hit on that stuff, man. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? But I think, like I said, I really like the chemistry between Omega and Wrecker. Seems like they're overshining the tracker guy. He used to be like the leader, but it kind of seems now like Omega's the leader. They seem to follow. Yeah. It seems like Hunter's losing his position as the alpha. It look like Omega is kind of stepping in. The way they're writing it to me, at least that's my point of view. But overall, like I said, really didn't dislike this. It was just okay. I really want to see. Well, I'll go into what I didn't like, but for the most part, man, it was okay. Really had no big issue with this. Really nitpicky stuff. One major thing I didn't like. We go down in the next round, but for the most part, it was okay. I really don't have any issues with it.
Okay. All right. Chris, what'd you like about it?
I like the overall concept. The whole layout of what they did was very well thought out, like on a storyboard level and a planning level of an episode. This was done very well. It's very obvious why they were doing what they were doing. They had a clear plan. There wasn't any question marks about why they're doing this or that. It was very well constructed as a whole episode. It played out nicely. It was fun to watch. I don't think that Hunter's losing his position. I think what's happening here is that they're being thrust into a world where they're no longer bound by this set of rules. When you were a clone, you were protecting people, you were attacking droids. There were these certain rules that were just set out. This is what you do. And there was no other question. We go, we do, end the story. Because remember, the first episode, that's what they were going. We go do the thing, we do this. And then when they broke that, that's when it started causing a problem for Crosshair and between them and the group. And it was just kind of like, well, we don't do that. We don't fail in our mission, because that's what they were. They were missions. So here's the thing. They've been thrust into this world of questionable morals, because that is what they never were on the side of. They were never on the side of questionable morals because they didn't have to worry about that, because they were on the side making the decisions for everyone. They were on the Republic side. Now they aren't the Republic. They aren't the Empire. That's who's in charge now. That's who's making the new rules. So now that they're on the outside, they have been thrusted in. Imagine if you were clean cut, never did anything wrong citizen, and then the world flip-flopped. And that everything you were doing, even if you're still not doing anything different, but the criminals started making the rules. Now you're wrong. What do? Do you fall into this path of questionable morals? I think what Omega is actually doing is holding them back to being who they still were, being a group of structure and morals, because they're starting to pull on the side of, hey, not our problem what they do to him. It's not my problem what happens to this. No, because she's the one pulling them back and saying, hey, oh.
Sorry, not to interrupt, but they were regularly, I think, saying it's not really our business. It's, not what we do.
But it wasn't before, because they weren't in the depths of what was going on. They were a part of this larger conglomerate where we got sent, we did something, we're done.
They're just
now they have an ability to make their own call, and she is helping them with this thing they've never had to deal with, which is, we don't just let somebody do something because, well, we're done with our part of this, we're out. Yeah, I mean, so I think that's more what she's doing. I don't think she's taking Hunter's leadership away. I think what she's trying to do is teach them all to look at the situation from not just the military or the mission standpoint. She's helping them kind of find this middle ground of who they were with being thrown into this all new situation. I mean, that's what I think she's doing. But I think this is always being shown in a really good way. They were one way, And I think what was it? Did we say it was Tech or was it
Echo?
Echo.
It's Echo. Yeah, Echo's constantly going, I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why we're doing it this way or that. He's still doing it, but you don't hear him piping up and saying, well, listen, that's just not how we do things. So he's listening. It's kind of like in a passive aggressive way, I guess. But she's teaching these people something. She's the moral compass of this group right now. She's that softer voice. What are you going to do? Look at the girl and say, listen, shut up, bitch. Get back in the ship. I mean, I'm just saying, is that what they're going to do? No, she's a child. The child, listen, it happens all the time. When a child sees things in a different world, you know, when you're out with a kid in the park and the kid gets fascinated by a butterfly, well, as an adult, you've seen a butterfly 5,000 times. But because the child is fascinated by it, it can pull you into a new viewpoint of it. Going like, okay, I guess there's something there to be seen different.
You're not
I guess.
Fascinated by butterflies? What kind of monster are you?
You don't want to know. No, but that's what I'm saying is that kids will always give you a new viewpoint on a situation after you've been dragged down by the world, and I think that's what she's doing. She's giving them new look at things because they're in a really crazy spot right now. They're fish out of water. They're having to navigate this, and they're adults who have been programmed. She hasn't had all that programming and all that rhetoric thrown in her. So she's still very much an unsoiled soul because she does see things as they need to be. But she is also taking risks outside of that. She is also becoming more of a, if I have to, I will. So I mean, there's some things that she's learning from them. So, but no, that's the biggest thing I got out of this is that the whole episode as a whole was done very well, and I liked the fact she is. I mean, listen, she had every reason to tell the guy, "Well, you know what, peace out," because you know you got me in this situation, or you took this shop. You should just face anything that's coming to you. She didn't. I mean, again, she stepped up and said, "Wait a minute, we don't. That's not how we do things."
True. All right, guys, Scar.
I kind of the thing I like the most, I guess, that they brought back the Pikes, and it's good to see them back because in a way it ties in with Maul, right? And it also ties in with Solo, even though Solo they look very crappy, and Solo they look nothing like the animation,
Right.
and it ties in with the whole, you know, cinematic universe as well, with the mentions of the Spice Mines, Ryloth, Naboo. Spice Mines of Kessel, and all that stuff. So I kind of like that call back to those shows. But that was basically it. You know, I kind of like the whole mining scene. It reminded me of Indiana Jones. You know, when they're in the that's what I got from it. And I'm like, oh, look, they're stealing scenes from the Indiana Jones franchise. But it was enjoyable, and that's about it, really.
Okay. Dandelion?
I think probably what I liked best was some of the really awesome visuals that they created, like with the lights in the mining tunnels, stuff like that. I thought that was really well done. I liked that a lot. Yeah, I mean, the story, like I said before, it was a good meat and potatoes story, but probably like some of the really interesting visuals in this one. I had a question. Is spice a euphemism for like drugs or something?
Yeah,
That's
yes,
amazing. It hasn't been
because
canceled yet.
Or is it like
Well-
Dune spice?
no, doing it. I mean, spice in Star Wars. Spice in Star Wars is a drug because in Attack of the Clones, you know, when Obi-Wan and Anakin are looking around the bar, Obi-Wan runs into the sky. You want any spice sticks?
Okay.
You know,
That's-
it is a form. It is a form of spice. I meant a form of drug. Now, what kind? I have no clue. But
Thanks.
it ain't something you cook with. It's just
No, I figured not. Well, I mean, maybe you do, but
Who knows?
That's a crazy scene.
food. I'm just curious about that. Yeah, probably the visuals I liked a lot. the character interactions were pretty solid in this one. I'm liking Sid more and more. I'm feeling less like she's just gonna like throw him to the wolves at some point, although I still figure she probably will. But yeah, I'm still not totally sold on Omega. Like, I understand her purpose and she's not as annoying as she was, but I'm still not finding her to be a very exciting character. But that's not something to talk about in the part where I like it. I would say the visuals are what I liked the best. I liked some of the graphics. When they're approaching the city, when they're landing in the little crater there to retrieve their drugs, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Okay. All right, Jason, what you got for me?
Like I said, it was a good filler episode. I guess this is where they're gonna finish off Sid's story. I'm assuming. Like Dan, I like the light bomb where they dropped down in the thing. It exploded like a big light flash. I like that. That was pretty cool. And the creatures, I guess, and then the same creatures as in the Attack of the Clone or the second Star Wars. Was it Attack of the Clones?
Yep.
The bug creatures. It's the same creatures, right?
No.
They're not. They're not the ones with the wings on. Okay, I thought they were.
No.
I almost thought that'd be what they were going to go for. I literally was like, maybe they're going that route. They didn't.
I mean, that's what I thought they were. I was like, oh, okay, they were the same creatures. But I mean, it was pretty cool. Like they were in like Gaskar says, like a Indiana Jones, where they were going for that little mine tunnels with the little cars and stuff. So I was like I say, I mean, it was a good filler episode. I was expecting more, but it had some good little parts into it.
Okay. All right, Austinator.
Well, I did like the things where it tied back into Rebels with the Pikes. I think, because again, like I said before, this is kind of like the middle chapter. You had Clone Wars, you had Bad Batch, and then you have Rebels. So it's basically a bridge between those two shows. So I appreciate what they were trying to do here. I like the visuals. Again, the visuals are... I'm not going to overly praise the visuals because at the same time, I expect good visuals in a Star Wars related thing. But I did like, at the end where it exploded and there was like the huge white, like just a huge light explosion. I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. Sid, I like the way her character was here. I like that she basically said, look, I fucked up and I'm going to, fix the situation, help fix the situation, because in a real world situation, if you fuck up, you have to try and fix it. So I appreciate what Sid tried to do there. I liked how the Pikes were threatening here, and basically when they're like, they basically held Omega hostage, and they're like, this is not a negotiation. This is not you. If you don't give us what we want, then we're just going to kill them. Which again, it makes sense in that period of time, because by this point, or no, I'll just say this, like, in this certain, scenario, is if you basically don't follow up on something, it's going to bite you back in the ass. Mm-hmm. If you can't follow up, you're going to get your ass kicked or killed, whatever. Yep. So I like that stuff. Man, that's really, and I guess, no, that's just about it. I mean, there's not a whole lot I liked. I mean, there's still things I like, but overall, there's things in this episode that I'm just going to say the episode overall just it doesn't work when we're only 3 episodes left. So those are my positives.
Okay. All right. Nindroid.
Overall, the ideas and the story itself is really interesting and cool and all of that. But to me, it could have been executed a little bit better. I did like the idea. I did like that the Pikes came back, kind of teasing maybe Maul will come into play somewhere with Crimson Dawn and everything. As well as there's one scene in particular that I really liked. It was when the Pike leader legit was like, we're going to take the kid instead. And then the batch all brought out their guns and it's like, no. To me, that felt like brother and sister relationship right there. one thing that has been very lacking of this show, because they say, oh yeah, they're her brothers and all of that. Well, to me, Hunter is more like a father figure towards Omega. So I like that they're doing some brother sister stuff right there. And also, I enjoyed some of the characters. I enjoyed Sid a lot more in this episode. And overall, it was just a fun adventure, but to me, kind of useless.
Yeah, I can agree with that one. And I'm pretty much the same as far as everybody else. You know, Sid's actually grown a little bit more and more on me. But help me out for a second, Android, if you can.
Yeah.
Sid is what, Trandoshan?
Yes.
Okay, because she looked like a two-armed version of Dex from Dex, you know, or General Markrell. Not Markrell, Paul Krell. Because it's kind of hard if the animation's not done right to get those two species mixed up. Mm-hmm. And I kind of figure she was Trandoshan. For those of you who don't know what that is, the bounty hunter Bosk.
Exactly.
Same species. Or the lizard people, for those of you who may not even know. Yeah, and that little bomb that Echo and I think Tech were working on. One of the others were working on. It was an inventive device, but you know they should have come up with something like that sooner.
They stole that straight from Blade 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just the brotherly love thing between Omega and the boys is getting stronger and stronger. They're standing more and more beside one another. And to me, that's about it. It wasn't a great episode, but you know, it wasn't a bad episode either. Geiscar, what in the hell?
That's what the episode's about. There's nothing stronger than family.
Oh,
that's a bean.
Boy, that's a troll if I ever saw one right there. Wow.
Who the hell was that?
Toretto from Fast 9.
Dominique Toretto, buddy.
Oh my
when
God.
Ninja was saying about they're gonna take the kid and they all said no, it's like sister. I'm like right away that came to mind. Family.
There's nothing stronger than family.
Okay, wasn't expecting that. Thank you. Because I gave up on Fast and Furious after number 3.
I think
Danny,
it's the first one.
Start us off with the meat and potatoes
Sure.
of this particular round table. What didn't you like about it?
I'll tell you, I'm so damn old and we didn't talk so long, I forgot what I didn't like about it. It'll come back to me.
Okay, all right. Chris?
Okay, well, Geiscar kind of trolled into the direction I'm about ready to go. This is Star Wars. Star Wars has an expansive universe, even if Disney doesn't recognize a lot of it. Here's the problem I have. We have stolen from Dune with Spice. Call it the Death Sticks. You have something already. Listen, even though I might have said that they were stealing from the first part of Beverly Hills Cop with a bunch of fucking cigarettes and shit, the point is they could have gone with Death Sticks, not Spice. Spice is the shit that's in Dune. It is the premise of Dune. Why are we stealing from Dune? 2, Indiana Jones. Why are we stealing from Indiana Jones? We've got our own shit. Figure it out. 3, family. Yeah, I mean, come on. They're stealing from so many different things. I'm not saying you can't have family in this, but it's like, get an original idea. It looks cool. It's fun. It makes sense in the universe. But when you think Indiana Jones first, when I hear Spice and I think Dune first, it's like, okay, fine, it works here, but I'm not thinking Star Wars. I'm thinking of all the things you've taken it from. They could have called it differently. They could have changed some of the mining stuff. and it's like, and I've given this series credit for going places we haven't gone in the Star Wars universe. So it's not like they don't get it. But at the same time that they get that, they don't seem to get that they already have built-in answers for things that they're like reaching for. I mean, spice, nitro. Was it in Han in Solo? Was it nitro or what was the?
No, the spice. It was.
Was that fuel?
It was. Oh man! If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
Yeah. Anyways, they're injecting things that didn't need to be injected into Star Wars. Listen, there could have been 1,000 things they put back there. Kyber crystals. What, kyber crystals aren't going to be smuggled if they can? Yeah, they are. It's already built into the universe. Spice is, it's a generic name. And the first thing, again, that I go to, being the sci-fi nerd, is Dune. I grew up with Dune. What's the first line out of that? Spice is the essence of life in the universe or something. I don't remember the whole dialogue.
Here. Do you want me to grab?
Yeah, the first paragraph, it starts with the word spice. I'm almost positive. I could be wrong, but
well, Lucas did.
What's the first words?
Looking like at the thing here.
Lucas did steal it because Herbert's Dune came out before Star Wars did. So
yeah.
Because even Solo says it when they get caught in the Death Star. I used to smuggle spice. I never thought I'd be smuggling myself.
They'll mention it right away.
Okay, well, anyways, spice. I think of Dune. Maybe it's the fact. Okay, I do remember the line in Star Wars where he says, "I used to smuggle spice," but it's such an offhanded remark. It's not the focus of that comment. It is basically all you hear when he says that is, "I'm a smuggler. I used to smuggle something, and this is how I did it." They're really pushing on the term spice, and again, it bothers me because it's so closely related to Dune. And then, like Danny said, the scene that mimics Blade 2, we got Indiana Jones. The whole Fast and Furious. We do it for family. It's like. There's a lot of things that you steal from, and after a while, it's just a bunch of pieces that basically you paint Star Wars on top of it. And this episode suffers from it. That is my biggest problem. Well, no, I understand the Death Sticks. I think that there's even on Disney Plus. I think when you watch Attack of the Clones, Attack of the Clones. I think it even states that it's in there for adult themes or something I don't know. There's something on it when I was watching it that it says, I think it even says death sticks or something, or cigarettes or tobacco. No, it's tobacco use. Tobacco use is depicted, and it's like, if you don't tell a kid that it's tobacco, they may not think of it like that. You're literally saying this is this, and then you're tying. If they didn't mention this stuff, some kids would just let it fly over their head and they'd never think about it. I don't know. I hate that stuff, but I just, this episode looks good. It's fun to watch, but it suffers from no imagination of their own, especially when they had it all right there that they could have done it themselves.
Okay. All right. Danny, you still thinking? Okay. All right. Gaspar.
I just find it that this whole episode slowed down the momentum of what we were getting. I thought we were gonna get, Crosshair coming around and seeing that, but that's pretty much it for me. It was the fact that it was a really slow episode. Yes, we got some, little goodies here and there, but in the overall scheme of the whole series so far, I find that it really threw a wrench into the spokes of the momentum we were going. Like, Nindroid said, maybe Well, actually, that's my expectation. That's for the next round, so forget it. But yeah.
I'm sorry. I wanted to say something in light of that. What you just said, it reminded me of this is placed wrong. Everybody kind of mentioned the fact that the last 2 episodes really were ramping things up. We got 3 episodes left. This one and probably the next one should have been back where the last 2 were. And then we go boom, 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 and into the finale. Because I think I think they realized it too. That they were like, oh, wow, we're just a little ahead of where we need to be. Because we've now said that Crosshair, I mean, listen, once you mention Crosshair's going after them, why isn't he in the next episode? That is a problem.
Yeah.
What did he say? I'm going at, I have permission to go track him down. Yes, kill him or whatever the guy says. Okay, well, first I'm going to stop by the bar, get a pina colada. I might take a nap. I'm going to go maybe clean my laundry. I mean, it's like, no, if I say I want to go track him down, I'm gone that second. I'm going after him. And don't think if I keep running into him that I don't know how to find him. I mean, so rearrange things a little bit. That would have been really good. But now I'm done. Promise.
Okay. You sure? Never mind. I already asked you
Probably,
that once.
Probably
Never
not.
mind.
Probably not.
Yeah. Dandelion, what you got for me? You're muted.
I forgot. There's a lot of noise and smoke coming in. I had to, like barbecue smoke, and they were all out on the deck, so I had to go close the door. My issues were logistical.
Barbecue smoke.
Well, I don't want it in my house. I don't know what they're cooking.
That's what
Probably delicious, I'm sure. Okay, like, why were they carrying flashlights? Like, don't they have flashlights that attach to their uniforms or headlamps? I don't carry a flashlight ever. Like, I got one on my keychain just for, emergencies. But if I have to do something, I wear a headlamp. You don't carry a flashlight if you're like, okay, your hands aren't free, right? If you have to like potentially use a gun, you want your hands free. Why, you don't carry a fucking flashlight. It makes no sense. And then why were they all in there, like, their flash? I mean, sure, it looked cool, but why were they all in there flashing there? Oh, be careful. If you wake up these like thingies, we're all dead, right? And then they did wake them up, obviously, because they were going to, because inevitably they're going to wake up whenever they're not supposed to wake up. But they were kind of underwhelming. Like, if they get woken up, we're all dead. And then it was like, oh no, mosquitoes. Like, I mean, it wasn't like the horrible, I mean, it wasn't like the flying things from like Pitch Black or something. Like, there wasn't like a real sense of imminent death, I didn't find. I just thought that the danger that they ended up encountering was a little underwhelming. But really, the flashlight thing just bugged the shit out of me, man. Why would those military dudes be carrying a freaking handheld flashlight? Because you
be on their gun.
And why didn't they all have to turn them off when they went through that section over the pit? Right? They're supposed to be super quiet. Don't wake them up. And they got like flashlights going everywhere. Just drove me nuts. I know they had to wake them up because that's part of the plot, but I mean, there had to have been a simpler way to do it. I think them just being chased could have woken up the monsters. They didn't have to do stupid shit too. I don't know. I guess it was supposed to build like drama and stuff, but it just seemed like they just wanted to like show the light flashing around in the cave. That seemed to be the only reason to everyone carry a torch or flashlight. Sorry, keep getting British terms.
You're all right.
I understood.
Right. That was my thing. That's it. I'm done.
All right, Jason.
I'm like Chris. Like, this episode should have been like back in like 5 or 6 or 7 instead of where it was placed. Because I mean, I was expecting Crosshair. I was expecting the big chase or something. And like I said, this episode could have been back like 5, 6, 7. The episode 5, 6, or 7. It would have made more sense back when than where they put it. And the only other thing, I see something Nidroid put it. The guy with the horn that they cut off, that's not the same guy in Rebels, you said?
Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay, It's
Oh,
not.
wait a
See,
minute, it's not?
No, it's not. I found out.
No.
Okay.
Okay. See, I thought it was. See, and I'm like, well, why did they make this big thing like they're fixing to kill him when if he's still alive? I mean, you know, the guy's gonna be alive in Rebels, so I was like, I sort of like was like, you've seen this guy's fixing his head chopped off, and then like, he's still alive, so it wasn't him then. Okay, so that makes it so that's sort of a.
But the dude in Rebels was missing part of his horn too, right?
Yeah, but it was the other horn.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was gonna say, because they were like, why would they act like they're gonna fix to kill the guy, if he's still alive? So everybody knows the guy's still alive. So it's like, nobody really, it's not meaning nothing. But if it's a different guy, then okay. I didn't really know. That's about it then.
Okay, all right. Alternator?
All right, my first problem is, what is Star Wars' obsession with bugs? I don't get it. Like, Fallen Order, you got a shit ton of spiders. Then you got a shit ton of spiders in Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. And we get more insects here. I don't get it. They've never worked.
Wait till Marvel gets a nihilist comes in.
It's too soon. But this is my problem with the show overall. The structuring of these episodes have been completely, I wouldn't say horrendous, but it needs work. Because they put most of the filler episodes at the beginning, or towards the beginning of the show, and then they start to build up slowly, and then it's like, okay, we're getting somewhere, but then once again we get a filler episode here. It's one of those things where this episode would have been better if it was much earlier on. It was not needed here. It felt, and kind of like what Guy Star and what basically everybody said, it killed momentum of what they were building up. Because it felt like a slow build-up to what we were getting. But now it's like, in the middle, it just doesn't work. And
I agree.
And it's the main problem when we have 3 episodes left. And Mandalorian didn't do this. Mandalorian did have, side episodes, but when we had 3 episodes left, Mandalorian at least, was setting up, basically what they're doing at the end. This show, we are not seeing that. And this is what's been plaguing this show for basically the entirety of the show's run so far, is that all we've been getting is filler, and more filler. And like I said before, I would not be surprised if we're getting a second season, because we probably will. But if we are not getting a second season, then I will say this is not a good way to begin your final act. So,
right.
So it just, and also there was no real build up to Sid losing her place. Like, when did she lose her place? And what mission were they on? So it's just, so that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And overall, just this episode, it just, to me, it doesn't really work in the sense of, it should have been done earlier. And I know I'm beating a dead horse, but it's just a big problem. It needed to have it needed to happen earlier, and it just doesn't work.
Okay.
We knew it wasn't a Ryloff mission because Sid didn't send them on that. They did that on their own. So it had to be another mission. Some time passed from the Ryloff mission.
Right.
Well, she did send them in the beginning to make a weapons delivery.
Yeah, but then that girl sent that SOS for them to help. Sid didn't authorize that. They did that on their own.
No.
This episode,
I understand
when they got off the ship, you heard, I think it was Record saying she owed us big for this, and so it must have been something else that she sent them on.
Yeah, I got the feeling they didn't know what the mission was they got back from. But they could have positioned it, right? They could have placed it in somewhere right after they've done a really shitty mission for her. and then they could have put that episode in, and then the last 2 episodes we had could have been now, and then happen after that.
You see, they have all these shot ahead of time. They have all this shot ahead of time, and when they have it all shot ahead of time, that gives you a second to pull back and say, "Hey, does this fit? Does it make sense?" Because if they had actually pulled it back and said, "Okay, whole picture here, does this flow?" No, this doesn't flow. This stops the whole thing, stops the progression we've made. So it's got to go back further. And like Dandelion said, you know, could have placed it anywhere. I mean, you could have placed it. Actually, you could have placed it after their second mission with Sid. Just find a place right there after they've done a few things for her. Then it just seems like time has passed because they keep doing missions and we don't know what. It doesn't matter. It's just, oh shit, here we went. We were coming back from another one. Goddamn Sid's just sending us on the shit stuff all the time. It was better placed somewhere else after the last 2 episodes.
I agree.
All right, Nindroid.
Okay, so filler. I can easily just say this was useless filler, in my opinion. This could have been great, you know. If they wanted to tell this tale, it should have been a 2-parter. We should have felt something when Sid was kicked out. Should have been a 2-parter to try and, you know, get Sid back into the place, and everything should have felt something, you know. Basically losing maybe like their home, they could really say, but we didn't have any connection to it, and we didn't really get anything like that. Crosshair not being in it is also another huge negative because it kills the momentum, like what Austin and Guyscar and Jason, basically everyone said. It killed the momentum. It should have been structured right after episode 11 when they had the senator thing. That should have happened. And overall, it was complete filler because they introduced a brand new character that at first you think, oh yeah, this guy from Rebels. But no, he's just another random crime lord with another horn chopped off just on the other side. It's like, how lazy are you? You should just made him, his name is Sikadro or something. I'm probably butchering that name, but something like that. And this guy's name is Roland. So this whole thing, it's just useless filler. And it's like, give me Crosshair. This is not what we needed in this episode, but it was still fun. And there's just a lot of problems. Also with the whole bugs thing that Austin said. It's like, I will say this episode was a lot more fun than Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2 with the spiders. But my God, stop it with all these like insects and try give us something new, some type of new creatures. But yeah, that's all my negatives.
Okay, Danny, did you ever come up with it?
Yes. My thing was what, and Guyscar reminded me of it. No Crosshair. They should have immediately shown us a ton of Crosshair, trying to track him down, maybe developing a new kind of ship, some kind of stealth ship or something. Should have been having Hunter and the tech kind of looking over their shoulders, man. We know Crosshair is gonna be looking or him sending a message, kind of like, I know where y'all at. I'm coming for you, something like that. But these last 2 episodes, how many it is, gotta be Crosshair. If they don't finish up showing Crosshair, then I don't know. This season may not get a favorable score from me. That's what I didn't like.
Hey, I want to add to Danny saying, had Crosshair and the bounty hunters at the same time attacking them would have been pretty cool. So they would have had, the bounty hunters and Crosshair. So they would have been, and where possibly Omega would have been captured or almost captured again, would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought the character was actually a guy from. Sorry, I thought the character was actually from A New Hope in the cantina, but it wasn't.
Mm-mm.
No.
He has long
I see what
horns.
you're talking about.
He has long horns. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been about what 4 episodes. You ain't seen nothing from the Caminos or however you pronounce their name. So
Nah.
you know that
Long
that
necks?
Prime Minister, he's chomping at the bit. Yeah, the
El
long necks.
Caminos.
Yep.
I like the elks.
El
That's what I
Camino.
call El Caminos.
I like calling them the El Caminos. That was a great car.
I call them elks. Listen, if it can't figure out if it's a car or a truck, it's an elk. Because an elk can't figure out if it's a buck or if it's a doe or if it's whatever. I mean, it doesn't know what the fuck it is. It's an elk.
Only thing I
Don't
say,
give me that look.
Realize a buck and a doe are just a male and a female of whatever.
It is confused. That's what I'm trying to say. The El Camino was a confused car, so I call it an elk.
only thing I say is if there's not a season 2, it's going to be a long ass season finale, like a 2-hour season to wrap everything up.
Yeah, because other than just Crosshair, because they still got the Caminoans to deal with.
The bounty hunters.
Yeah, because their target is Omega for them, and they touched on it twice. You had Fennec Shan and you had Cad Bane. There's going to be a cliffhanger for the season finale. I
can imagine they're not going to do a season 2.
Cad Bane ain't finished doing what.
No, not by any means. Because Cad Bane don't give up that easy. Don't give up that easy.
I was expecting some with Jabba the Hutt too. Where they had that little scene with the creature. I was expecting them to possibly go to Jabba's area or something too. But that didn't.
Yeah, but that's involving way too much for what this show has been offering.
Maul and all that. So
I'm having to agree with everyone, because also to add to what Ostinator was talking about, you also had spiders in an episode of Rebels. It may not have been anything like what was in The Mandalorian or these bugs here, but still, you had a spider episode, when they get to this planet, what ends up being their base. And it's lack of originality. Because Chris nailed it right off the head. Fast 9, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Dune. It's just a lack of originality. And Lucasfilm is far better than this, even though we haven't seen it in a while. They are far better than what this episode gave us. So these last 3 episodes better show us something, because there's going to be a lot of unhappy people, including me, if they don't. And without all that,
JJ, they talk about copying too. Doesn't the batch sort of look like Stallone's Expendables too? Like Sylvester Stallone being the hunter guy and all that. That little, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So similar. I kept looking at it, I'm thinking of that, because you've seen all this copying everything. I said, look at him. I said, there's Rambo, and I'm looking at some of the guys could be, his group, had them 4 movies. So
the episode was very derivative.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, it was all unnecessary too, because they have the stuff built into their own lore and stuff.
Exactly. And with all that said and done, we're gonna go around and get some grades from you guys, and some predictions for the last 3 episodes. What you got for me, Danny?
I'm gonna give this a C. Just a C. Like I said, I didn't hate it. Not in love with it. They're gonna show us Crosshair. If they do another filler, then I think they're pretty much shooting themselves in the foot this season, because I don't think 1 episode is going to be enough to tie this off. One thing I can say about Mandalorian, whether you liked it or hate it, whether you thought it was mediocre or not, that Luke Skywalker moment pulled his ass out of mediocrity. So I think they're going to have to do something like that, and I don't see what they could do. I don't see the Luke Skywalker moment for Bad Batch. So they're going to have to do it with Crosshair. So they're going to have to just make these last 3 episodes fantastic and give us Crosshair, give us conflict between Crosshair and the Bad Batch. Either they're gonna have to kill him or they're gonna have to pull him back into the fold. So that's what I'm predicting. One of those two outcomes.
Okay. All right. Chris?
I'll give it a C plus because outside looking in, if you weren't looking and really, if you're a casual observer of this, it's a good episode. It's fun to watch. It's got some good visual work done. No issues. But when you start thinking of how many things they took from it, it takes away. So I got to kind of look at it both sides. I mean, so for me, it's a C plus. They've already messed up by putting this here because we've even said it. Crosshair needed to be here now. Now I think they did kind of jump the gun with the I'm going after him. Because again, when you say that, the next episode better damn well be that guy going after him. Because if he's that determined to say it, then he wants to go now. In fact, he's the type of guy that if he had heard no, the next episode should have been him jumping in the ship saying, fuck all y'all that don't want me to do this. I'm doing it anyways. So they just totally disregarding it for a whole episode was crazy. So they better get back to that. That's not a prediction. That's you better get back to that storyline. You got 3 episodes left. They can kind of stretch it out. In fact, you want to give them another mission from Sid or you want to do something else, let them do that. But you better go crossing back and forth to Crosshair, going and tracking down every damn person who he has heard might have been in contact with the Bad Batch, might have seen the Bad Batch. He can go to the planet where they saw Rex, where they were trying to get off the planet, and they helped the other guys get off the planet. I can't remember what the character name was, but the farming community. They could show Crosshair going there, following leads, and that's all you got to do for a whole episode. You could, but show him doing this, show him doing his due diligence looking for them.
Right.
And in Danny's line of work, knocking on boots on the ground, knocking on the doors, get the shit, figure it out. Because if he's that determined, you need to start showing him that showing us that he's that determined. Do that. And again, that episode, the next episode could be the Bad Batch just doing something else. And then at the end, just stop it where they're both on the same planet and like Crosshair sees them and boom, the race is on. And the next 2 episodes is a full-on knockout, drag-out between fighting back and forth, have them both kind of get injured or something, like a even exchange of the fight. And then the last episode, have it all come down. Bring Cad Bane back in, bring Boba Fett back in, and you'll have a knockout, drag-out there too. And I don't know, the whole time that's going on, send the Empire after the Elks or the El Caminos. Send them after there and let's see them get destroyed right there at the end of the season. Leave it up to people to think, is there season 2? What's going to happen? If you give them enough stuff, that's obvious what's going to happen, the El Caminos get killed or whatever. When you see all that happening, it leaves a lot of suspense, keeps people talking for another season if they go that route. That's how I think they should do it, is that they need to get a move on.
Okay. I like the sound of that, actually. Guys, Carl.
It's crazy. Sometimes I do have good ideas.
Sometimes.
Okay. Don't everybody speak at once.
Geiscar, what were you going to say?
What, me? I said sometimes. Actually, there's not much to add with Chris. Chris nailed it on all points, right? My grade up for me would be a D for this episode. I think it really slowed it down. What I predict coming up, I don't know. Since they brought back the Pikes, are we going to see more clues of Darth Maul into this? As he develops Crimson Dawn. We don't know, so I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know what the battle. I think the battle on El Caminos would be a pretty great way to end it. But there's so many things they can throw in here to make it interesting. But like Danny said, what would be a Luke Skywalker moment for this? I think Boba Fett would be one option because, you know, it's Omega's brother. So see how that ties into that. For me, that would be my semi of a Skywalker moment for this series.
Okay. All right. Dandelion.
Did Geiscar give it a grade?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch your grade. Sorry. I'm going to go with a C+ as well. I liked the episode for itself. Again, there were some issues, but overall, I liked it. C+. I think they're probably aiming for a second season. I don't see them doing anything other than ending on a cliffhanger. Don't think they're going to destroy the Kaminoans yet, just because I think they want to drag out that storyline for longer. And I don't see them wrapping that up this season. Again, they'll probably have some like showdown with Crosshair, but I don't think they're going to end up getting him back on the team yet. I think they're going to drag that into a second season. Do we know if there's a second season?
There's nothing been confirmed yet.
Okay. I don't think they're going to try and wrap it up, to be honest. I don't think they're going to even try and wrap it up in the next 3 episodes. They've been basically the whole season has just been setting up characters and like, you know, adding in a few like ancillary characters that are probably going to show up again. No, I think they're thinking long term on this one. I don't think they're thinking.
Everything they have left to cover, they can't cover in 3 episodes. Not at 25 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like how it fits in within the greater Star Wars universe and various other events that happen, I think they're going to drag it out for a lot longer. So I think they're aiming for an unsatisfactory end to the season. It'll probably be a cliffhanger, and if it isn't picked up, we'll never know what happens.
Okay.
As happens in many, many shows that we enjoy or somewhat follow, and then they never finish them because it gets canceled. Sorry.
Right.
There's been a few annoying cliffhangers that they have some issues.
I've experienced a couple, but yeah, I agree with you.
Like who killed JR?
No. I was thinking more, did you ever see the show Intelligence? It was a Canadian show. The main character gets shot and is like lying in an alley bleeding. You don't know if he lives or not, but you're really invested in the character, and they canceled the show and kept on some stupid, lame other show that...
Well, if they do that, usually that means the character's dead.
That's like Dark Angel.
Yeah, but it was the main character. I don't think they would have killed him off. Anyway, I digress. Please,
You're
Jason.
right. Jason.
I'll give it a C-. It was, like I said, I'm not sure. I'm hoping that, like I said, Crosshair's in the next one, but I'm a bad feeling we're gonna get another filler next episode, and we won't see him to maybe at the very end of this episode, next episode, and then it'll go into. Well, how many we got? 3 more or 2 more?
3 more.
3 more. I have a bad feeling we're going to see a filler this next one, and they're going to leave Crosshair to the second or the final one. I just feel only thing I'm looking at. They're going to go on another mission with Sid, and probably at the very end, Crosshair is going to show up, and possibly Omega is going to be kidnapped by one of the bounty hunters or somebody new that we haven't seen yet. I just that's what I'm feeling right now. But
okay. All right. Austinator?
I'm going to give it a D+ because this shit, you can't do this. You can't have filler towards the end. That's not how...
Yes, you can.
You can.
Did you ever watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Well,
so much filler.
God.
Hold on. Let me rephrase. You can have filler towards the end, but this is an example of how not to do it. It's not progressing anything. It literally was just filler. It does absolutely nothing. And this, to me, is a big red flag, if I ever saw one. Especially when we don't know if we're getting a second season. I would hope that we're getting a second season, because right now they desperately need it. But if we get one more filler episode, then the show is screwed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's screwed because, like Chris said, they shot themselves in the foot. They waited too long to do this.
Well, at least it wasn't done. If they did shoot themselves in the foot, maybe the earlier versions of the Stormtroopers can't completely miss everything.
True.
Never mind. That fell flat. Sorry.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But they need to end this, and I can't believe I'm saying it now, like with 3 episodes left. They need now to pick up the pace, and they need to get back to where they were going, because this was not the place to do it. Now they need to play catch up in a sense.
Yeah.
They have to start playing catch up with themselves. So, and actually, before I wrap things up, what Chris said with them taking stuff from other things, this show is taking things from Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like elongated Mandalorian. You have the child character, and then you have the group of characters who are basically taking missions from somebody that's not necessarily higher up, but like they're taking from like, it's kind of like if you work at like a store and you have like a store manager. It's like you basically are doing missions for someone else, right? It's like bounties. So
Yeah.
This, and just to wrap things up, it needs to pick up, and they need to play catch up. So, and if it doesn't get a second season, then they're gonna have a lot. Then, yeah, like they shot themselves in the foot. So,
Okay. All right. Nindroid.
I'm gonna give it just a solid C.
Okay.
My predictions are that I hope we get Crosshair, that they somewhat resolve what has been teased ever since the first episode. Same thing with the Kaminoans and also the bounty hunters. Now, I would love them to bring Boba Fett into it, of course. Maybe next episode, Omega gets captured by Boba Fett, because you gotta remember, he's a bounty hunter. So maybe he gets it, and then while Omega is in the Slave One, he finds out that, oh shit, this is my sister.
You mean when she's in Boba Fett's spaceship?
No, that's according to Lego.
No. That's
It's the Slave One, Chris.
It's the Slave One.
I
It's on the
understand.
official Star Wars website. The only thing that's been on was on the Lego set, due to, of course, there's some reasoning.
Smells like a spinner ride at Disney World.
Damn Swedes. It's the Swedes. It's always the Swedes. They can't pick a side.
All right.
It's Switzerland, not Sweden.
Starts with an S.
Anyway.
Bad enough.
They're not even close in Europe.
You know what?
Just saying.
Anything else, Nindroid?
No.
Okay. All right. And also, I'm gonna give the episode a C. It definitely wasn't the worst one, but it definitely wasn't the best one. And like I just got to mention, there's too much stuff to wrap up in 3 episodes. Really, there's almost at this point got to be a second season. Now, I'm not saying there is, but as Chris said and Austin said, they shot themselves in the foot if they don't. There's too much to do. And with that being said, everyone, I want to thank everybody in the chat that showed up, everybody on the panel for showing up. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
It's a good show.
What we're gonna do is go around the panel real quick. We're gonna tell everybody where we can find each other. Danny, would you mind starting off for me?
I am Danny A.K. Comic Chat. You can find me on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Chaos Conversation. Tomorrow, 2 topics will be definitely He-Man and Snake Eyes.
Nice.
So if you're not doing anything, call me. Check me out tomorrow. Yeah, call me. If you have my number, call me. If you got my DM me. If you have any more topics, but I know those are going to be two. I'm feeling this He-Man, get a lot of heat and stuff. Good conversation, but that's what I intend on talking about tomorrow. If not doing anything later tonight, probably about another hour. Catch me on Rob Storm's channel. We'll be doing Storms live. And other than that, man, good show, JJ. Thanks again for inviting me. I look forward to seeing you next Sunday.
All right. Thank you for being here, Danny.
Yep.
Chris.
Yep. Hold on just a second. Sorry. Real Review 3000 is my channel. Check me out over there, doing gaming streams, some other stuff like that. Just a whole bunch of different stuff over there. We're going to try to be ramping up everything again here pretty soon. But guys, if you're in the chat, if you're watching, guys, please, if you're watching this afterwards, please check out all these people on this panel. Make sure you help them out. Sub to them if you aren't already subbed to them. Check out Khaos Central, which you're watching this on right now. If you see the red box down below that says subscribe, we know you accidentally forgot to click it. We understand that. Go ahead and do that now and help the channel out. Like I said, check everybody else out. Make sure you didn't accidentally forget to click the other subscribe buttons either. Make sure you smash that like button. And if you want something to do, check out some of the stuff we have over on chaoscentral.com. And join us tomorrow night for Mr. Danny Graham's The Chaotic Conversation here and on his channel. Each show has their own email now. Danny, if you want to send him ideas or topics or questions about his show, anything like that, the Chaotic Conversation at chaoscentral.com. That's the Chaotic Conversation at chaoscentral.com. Anzo's is the Chaos List at chaoscentral.com, and mine is the Rule of 3 at chaoscentral.com. So that's an easy way to get a hold of all of us. And by all means, thank you, JJ, for having me. Another great show. I hope to see the numbers continue. Again, if you watch this afterwards, these are done live every Sunday at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific Standard or Pacific Time. Just look it up. You'll find it. Come here. Join us in the chat. Love to hear from you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, Carl.
Yeah, well, you can find me here every Sunday at 8:30 on this roundtable. You can find me 9 p.m. tomorrow on Danny's show for Khaos Central, Got a Conversation. Then you can find me on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. for the Rule of 3, hosted by Chris Knight. You can also find me on my channel, Tabasco Scenario, for my gaming streams, where when people are on the chat, I interact with the chat. I just hooked up now with an old gamer that I used to game with, who's really funny, and we usually crack a lot of jokes when we stream. Yvette got a little glimpse of that. Tim was also there. Commander Data was also there. So, my friend Ryan, he's hilarious. He's also a fellow American. So make sure to tune into those games. I'm gonna do a weekly gaming stream with him, as well as getting plans for my show to be on a weekly basis as well on my channel, and working on my Chaos show shortly with Chris and Danny, and making sure everything works out as well for that. So thank you, JJ. Hell of a job, man. Keep it up.
Thank you. Dandelion.
I'm Dandelion Fluff. I'm just usually hang out in chats, occasionally go on a stream, but I highly recommend you subscribe to all the fine people on this panel. They have lots of good shows. And thank you for inviting me, JJ.
Go buy stuff on her Etsy. She'll love you forever.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, who here, honestly, that's watching wants to buy yarn or felt, like, wraps? Like,
perhaps somebody has an unhealthy obsession with yarn.
Well, yeah, obviously, but those people are probably not here. Well, it just all depends. It all depends on who I want to tie up that. They make great gifts to the people in your lives that like yarn, or if you're looking for a gift for a hard to shop for lady in your life, I can help you there. Okay, well, I'm screwed either way on that one. So yeah, Jason.
What's going on? I'm Jason Lee Tucker. The Jason Lee Tucker Statements, my channel. We talk about wrestling, pop culture, different things here on Sunday nights with JJ. So appreciate it, JJ. Let me come on in.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's about it.
Not a problem, man. Thank you for showing up. Nindroid. Or not. Yeah, Nindroid. Yeah, go ahead, Nindroid.
Okay. You guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel, Nindroid243, where we are returning this week with Galactic Chat with the trivia tournament. So make sure you check that out. As well as I recently released my first installment to the Nindroid cuts of The Force Awakens. So you can check out my channel for that. There's a link to a Google Drive where you can watch it. And yeah, you know, you can always find me on here on Sundays as well. JJ, this was a blast.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up. And last but not least, Austinator.
I have my own channel at the Austinator. Last time I checked, I was at 178 subs, 2 away from 180. Nice. I'm closing in on the 200 mark. Just subscribe to the channel. My schedule right now is a bit hectic at the moment, so I'm basically going to streams. Certain shows are going to be on hiatus for a while until I can find a day for them, but tomorrow, check out my wrestling show. We are going to be discussing No Way Out 2002, where Vince McMahon is going to inject a lethal dose of poison on his own company because Ric Flair doesn't want to because he doesn't like to share. I'll just say that. He just doesn't like to share. Like, fucking, I'm going to kill my company. Then Tuesday, Austin and Friends Talk Pop Culture. We're going to be discussing the season finale of Loki. And yeah, God, I got to talk about Loki again. Son of a bitch. Of course,
it's on your channel, right?
Loki.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well,
it's on your channel.
I was going to mention this a while ago. You know, since Kevin Feige is going to have a Star Wars project, he could introduce Kang in here to redo the Star Wars timeline.
Oh, hell.
Wow.
That could get rid of the trilogy.
Don't ask Kevin Feige.
Gone.
You motherfuckers are crazy.
Well, Dave Filoni and they're doing that with Mandalorian pretty much right now.
Hey, hell, we're introducing Spice and everything from Dune. Oh, hell, just introduce Kang in there.
Pretty much.
These are not the mutants you're looking for.
And also Saturday, me and Angry Care Bears are going to be discussing Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 Dream Warriors. That movie is fire. I actually can't wait to talk about it because, God, it's a better movie than a lot of movies that come out today, but it's just fantastic. And you can find me on other channels like The Real Review 3000 for the weekly wrap-up and the Rumble, Khaos Central for the Bad Batch Roundtable, JJ's channel for randomness at its finest. You can find me on Nindroid's channel for Galactic Chat, and you can find me on Nerdgasms, usually on Saturdays. Wasn't there this past week because, again, just shit just happened, and I was tired, and that fun stuff. And basically just go and subscribe to everybody here. Subscribe to Khaos Central. Follow the Twitter. You know, just basically find me everywhere. Thank you for having me on, JJ.
No, thank you for being here. And with that being said, everyone, we'll see you here next week. Everybody say have a good night. And
Adios.
later.
Later.
Yes.